What we're going to talk about today is, generally speaking, unnecessary roughness. This is what we know from NFL football. Unnecessary roughness. And we're going to talk about it from the perspective of generally, where do we see unnecessary roughness in our world other than the NFL? Most of the time, the unnecessary roughness we see is when you turn on the evening news and there's more reports of everything on the evening news is unnecessary roughness. Can't really tell you whether anything on the evening news is fake news or real if it's overseas. If it's in your own town, you usually have eyewitness reports. People will tell you things that they saw. And if you know the people, generally speaking, you'll take whatever they say as they're not lying. But, if it's the other side of the globe where you don't know anybody and it's just a news report, and the news reporter is based in Toronto, Canada, and they're reporting on something in China. These are the ones that really you have to look at and say, this is bullshit. Because this reporter in Toronto, Canada, is not in Beijing or Shanghai. So what the fuck are they doing? Oh, they've just got some videotape that they've downloaded onto their computer. And they never made the videotape, so they never witnessed whether this was a big setup of a bunch of actors. But this happens all the time with these news people. They're too cheap to have a foreign bureau in China to do their own reporting, so they just take whatever they find and they produce it, and then they say, and I'm whatever the hell you are, your name, for what is in Toronto, it's going to be Global or CBC News, and they're going to deliver it to you and say, this is the truth. And I say, fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? You say this is real, you didn't even do the filming. These are the most disgusting, vile humans on the planet. These reporters who say that this is the news, but they don't report on real news. And, they get big fat salaries. And if it's CBC, it actually is the Canadian taxpayer who is paying the salaries of these fucking liars. These people need to be imprisoned. They are, if you remember Lord of the Rings, there was one character that was known as Wormtongue, who told nothing but lies to King Theoden. That's what these journalists, they call themselves journalists. No, they're professional liars. Professional liars. How much damage do they do from their fake news? They instill a lot of fear in the population. They install a lot of fake information. They say it's true. And a lot of people still believe, well, if it's on Global or CBC, it must be true. Why? Mostly because I think a lot of people have cognitive dissonance. They don't really want to believe that the news that's presented to them is lies. They don't want to believe it. And they don't really have an alternative. Unnecessary roughness. It's also about families. It's about families. Why? Because we're all one human family on this planet. And we're constantly being given reasons why we've got to have a war with our family. United States of America, vast majority of the whole time it has existed, it's been at war. Huge budgets for war. Who is the greatest evil on the planet? Oh, we're protecting our homeland, so we're going to go to somebody else's country and occupy it forever. I don't want to tell you, but the United States of America is one of the biggest liar nations on the planet. At the Olympics, they get the whole crowd going, USA, USA, we're the best. No, you're not the best. You're the best at lying. The best liars are American news reporters. The best liars are American politicians of every stripe and color. Leaders of the free world, it ain't free in America. You pay through the nose. If you need some medicine, you pay to multinational corporations, overpriced payments for drugs. You pay too much for everything in the United States. And the American way has been exported all around the world at the barrel of a gun. I don't want to tell you, this is a horrible thing to discover, that United States of America is a corrupt organization. If you're American and you disagree with me, you don't know American history very well. You need to study up. You really need to open your eyes. And you're going to have cognitive dissonance because you were told your country is all about freedom, but it ain't. It's about those corrupt politicians that you see in Washington, D.C. It's about these enormous multinational corporations. It's about the 1% that get all the money and own everything. Other countries are horrible too. We all know it. But we all know it. We know China is a communist dictatorship masquerading as a capitalist country. We know what they do to the people in Hong Kong. But the Americans pretend to be defenders of freedom when really all they are is defending oil companies' rights in foreign countries. Unnecessary roughness. The state of Israel, supposed to be a homeland, a refuge for the Jewish people who were massacred by the Nazi Germans. But everyone knows it. The Israeli government acts like Nazis towards the Palestinian people. Oh, they try and cover it up. They try and cover it up. But when you look at the Jewish newspaper, Haaretz, and you see that even the Jewish newspapers report on this evil, evil government of Israel and what they do, well, what are you supposed to believe? Unnecessary roughness. It can't get any darker than it is on this planet today, because we have no truth. No truth. We have nothing but flim-flam artists, phony science, phony trips to the moon, Apollo, phony baloney lies on national TV. Phony, phony, phony. Lies, lies, lies. Corrupt, corrupt, corrupt. Incident reports keep coming in. Demonic personalities. Keeps going on and on and on. We don't have anywhere to go to get refuge because the whole planet is contaminated with toxic, demonic, egoic shit demons. It's unnecessary because in evidence we are all one species, but we are not united. Unnecessary roughness.